Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am proud to have introduced H.R. 3632, the Power Plant Reliability Act of 2025, and am happy to see this committee mark it up today. This bill would update Section 207 of the Federal Power Act, which deals with ensuring that utilities provide adequate service. As far as we can find in the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission and its forerunners' records, only a handful of complaints citing this section have been filed, and only one order issued in 2006 which firmly cited Section 207. That is why we need to update this section of the Act to allow affected parties to contest the retirement of generation resources. Over the next 10 years, 115 gigawatts of dispatchable generation has been announced to be retired across the United States, while demand is estimated to increase upwards of 151 gigawatts. These numbers do not match up. I would note some have even suggested that with AI, we may need as much as an additional terawatt of power. My bill would enhance existing authorities under the Federal Power Act to ensure premature retirements are not necessarily jeopardizing the reliability of our electric grid. Under my bill, FERC would be able to issue orders for up to 5 years in length and allocate costs for potential new transmission costs that may alleviate a plant going offline. These orders can be no longer than 5 years, but can be tailored by FERC to be shorter. The availability of these orders will hopefully assist states and regional transmission organizations in planning projects so that whenever a plant is to retire, there is another source or multiple sources that will produce the same amount of power. As part of these Section 207 orders issued pursuant to this legislation, FERC will waive excessive environmental regulations mirroring language in Section 202C of the Federal Power Act to provide needed flexibility for plant owners to continue operating the facility in a cost-effective manner. In addition, this bill would require plants to provide a 5-year advance notice of their plans to retire. This helps states and regional transmission organizations improve resource adequacy, and transmission planning. By requiring this notice, we can ensure that states and grid operators can responsibly manage their respective systems. This provision is more to ensure we have a transparent and longer-term watch list showing how much power is likely going off the grid. While the list is public, no affected party is ever required to file a complaint, and the specific power plant can only announce its retirement, not file a complaint, to keep their own facility open. Any affected party, not just the initial complainant, can request an additional 5-year extension of the adequate service order. Importantly, this bill allows for flexibility of the 5-year advance notice of retirements in the event of an emergency, disaster, or other similar event that leaves the plant inoperable. The Energy Subcommittee has held several hearings in the 119th and the 118th Congress to understand our ongoing reliability crisis. We continue to hear time and again from grid operators, engineers, and utilities of all kinds about the impact that premature retirements can have on the grid. Unfortunately, many times it is the policy decisions of the government, both state and federal, that are forcing the closure of baseload power plant retirements and seeking to replace generation with less reliable sources. While renewable energy sources have a role to play, baseload and dispatchable energy from natural gas, coal, nuclear, and hydropower have tangible benefits based on their constant power production. Technologies like wind and solar have created an unstable grid in some portions of the country. With this bill, we will provide FERC the opportunity to referee plant shutdowns and look at the more regional as opposed to local impacts. Mr. Chairman, I have several letters of support, and I ask unanimous consent of these letters to be entered into the record, and the committee already has them in a digital format.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you so much, and it's my understanding that as well, the National Mining Association has also mentioned their support for my bill in a letter that was already submitted for the record. I ask my colleagues to vote in favor of this bill and yield back the balance of my time.